Welcome back, everyone. The next story we're going to talk about is a sensitive subject, but very important. Investigators are trying to find out exactly who was present when a woman was raped aboard a commuter train in the Philadelphia suburbs last week. Upper Darby Township Police initially said that a group of passengers watched and even recorded the assault without ever calling for help. But yesterday, the Delaware County District Attorney said that that's not the whole story. He says the assault actually occurred over a 40-minute period where various passengers were getting on and off the train. So he told reporters that, quote, people get off and on at every single stop. That doesn't mean when they get on, they see people interacting that they know a rape is occurring. Now, a suspect is in custody in that attack. He has a court hearing scheduled for Monday. And although the circumstances of this case have changed somewhat, it brought up an interesting question. What is, and more importantly, should our individual responsibility be when witnessing a crime happening? Well, back with us now to discuss what many call the bystander effect is BNC legal contributor Paul Henderson. Also joining us is psychologist and mental health expert Dr. Jeff Gardere. Welcome to both of you. Brilliant minds you are both, so feel free to jump in. But I want to go through all of this first. The question we asked our viewers is that we know that so far prosecutors pursuing this case don't anticipate charging fellow passengers for not intervening. So what we did, we simply asked viewers if they agreed with that decision. And then we got poll results on that, hearing exactly what is going on with that. We know that 81% said yes. And so there you have it on your screen. 19% said no. So I do want to find out exactly what your thoughts are, gentlemen, both of you. I want to unpack this. Paul, the DA is cautioning people not to jump to conclusions here, not to run with the idea that anyone else on the train was wrong, because of course they're still looking for witnesses. And if you hear on the news that you could be wrong or you could be responsible, you're not going to come forward. So, Paul, what is the legal responsibility that people have in a case like this if you see a crime being committed?
Well, you've raised the issue appropriately, and this is exactly why they're saying that we're not looking to charge these people, because they do want to use those folks as witnesses, and people may hesitate to come forward and testify or hesitate to give information, even anonymously, if they feel like they could be held liable. To me, this issue is one that you have to look at, and the question is whether or not there is a legal responsibility and or a community responsibility. And I think to answer that, you have to unpack what the law has or what the law uses to evaluate behavior in a case like this, where essentially you are being a good Samaritan. And from a legal perspective, there are two different pathways. There's a criminal pathway and a civil pathway. The law is silent on criminal evaluation because it's specific intent. So if you act criminally, you can always be held liable criminally, and that has nothing to do with you acting as a good Samaritan. The real issue is sometimes this comes up for civil protections. So for example, if you take action to help someone, you may end up being liable if you hurt them. Let's say you're moving someone or you try to intervene, and because of what you did, the other person gets shot or more injured or damaged in some way. Many states have what are called Good Samaritan laws to protect you from being held civilly liable. To me, this is a philosophical issue that doesn't fit the analysis of the law. And so morally, yes, you would have an obligation to engage and to help someone, but legally, that's questionable.
But Paul, I want to clarify, though, what about the issue? Jeff, let me just clarify this real quick before we move further. What about the whole idea of the people filming the assault? Because if that's happening, does that change things? Can you be charged, Paul? That's what I'm wondering, for recording an attack and not helping in any way.
Oh, so it depends. Like if you are just recording, no, you can be a bad person morally, but you can't be held liable criminally. You can't be held liable civilly for something.
Welcome back to Making the Case, everyone. Each night we cover so many important yet often heavy topics, and at the end of each week, we try to offer a bit of inspiration, focusing on the positive things going on in our communities. Tonight, we take a moment to shine a spotlight on a woman doing her part to help reimagine the perception of education for the youth in her community. Her name is Dr. Teresa Price, and Dr. Price is the founder of the National College Resources Foundation and the Black College Expo. Her organization has been creating new educational opportunities for students who are underserved and underrepresented. She has also worked to reduce the high school dropout rate. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor, there are 10.6 million jobs available that are going unfilled because there's simply not enough qualified applicants with skills needed to fill them. Well, Dr. Price and the Black College Expo is working hard to change that. Her programs have helped increase enrollment by as much as 43% at some colleges. Dr. Teresa Price joins us now from Dallas, where the city's 4th annual Black College Expo takes place tomorrow. Dr. Price, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. You have me with a few tears in my eyes as I look at those pictures. So thank you. I'm just sitting here, I'm just holding back because it's so many memories. And
don't hold back, because you know what? This is that moment. We're here for you. This is amazing. Yeah. Listen, before helping students, you've got an amazing story. Before helping students go to college, you were actually working in marketing and radio. Why did your mission change?
Yeah. You know what? It didn't change. I really feel that God put me here for a reason. And sometimes as we go through life, we think we know. And it's like someone said to me, we make our plans, but God plans our steps. And I think I just know that I'm here to be a vessel for young people. And even as I look back and I reflect on, because I manage recording artists and they were always under 18. I manage, being in the music industry and being in the radio and also entertainment. It's just, I've always worked with young people. So I think all of that was setting me up for this. So I've been in this space now 23 years and I love, love, love working with young people. And as I sat there and I looked at the pictures and then I saw my buddy Tuskegee Airman who just passed away at 100 years old, Ted, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm just so blessed to be in this space. And I just want to make a difference. I want to change the world. I don't like what I see. So it's like, I always look at myself in the mirror and say, what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? So everything just really stems from my love of the Lord, first of all, and just wanting to make a difference in the world.
Well, you are making a difference. You are bringing blessings into those kids' lives because you've helped more than 500,000 students gain access to higher education. That's impressive. But I know that even more than that, you often offer other resources to your students. Tell us about that.
It really started, we did the first Black College Expo in 1999. We started, so our first one 23 years ago, we had over 35,000 people show up, and they sent out the riot gear police thinking it was going to be a riot, and it was just like, whoa, wait, people want information. And then I started going to schools, just talking to students about higher education, and then parents and coaches from high school started calling, can you help my student, can you help? So that just led into our tutoring program, and so we went from doing the Black College Expo, then we do a full service, the Movement Enrichment Program, which we confront the disparities in the education system by offering intervention, mentoring, college and career planning, student athlete assistance, and internships and careers. Then we have a STEAM program in which trying to increase diversity in women in science, technology, engineering, arts, agriculture, aviation, aerospace, and math. And then we also have a student athlete program where we host 3 or 4 combines and showcase. We do a HBCU football combine, HBCU basketball showcase.
You have so much.
Yeah, it just goes on.
It goes
and
on and on. Yeah, it does. This is great. But I want to ask you about the expo tomorrow. You're in Dallas for tomorrow's expo, and we hear you're giving away up to $10 million worth of scholarships, and students can actually receive those scholarships right on the spot.
Right. A lot of the schools, our partners, they'll be offering scholarships right on the spot. So they'll just basically say, hey, Laverne, let me see a transcript. You'll show them your transcript. They'll say, hey, if it fits you, welcome to my college. We're accepting you on the spot. And by the way, you have such and such. We're going to give you a full ride scholarship. So that's kind of like where it is. That's how it happens. And it really is a one-stop shop. And it's
everyone, starting next week, BNC will have special nightly coverage on the growing concerns over the nation's supply chain shortage. Each night, we'll delve into the shortage and warn you how it could impact you and your family. That's next week right here, only on BNC. And thank you so much for watching Making the Case. I'm Laverne McGee, filling in for the fabulous Yo Deep. Have a great weekend. Up next is Prime with Charles Blow. Have a good night.